Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to our final game of this evening. We got Evil Corporation taking on Rexar's Reborn, and well, safe to say that we had a very unexpected result game number one. Rex is not unborn, reborn, actually taking game number one with a sneaky Conquer kill level 1 as the Legion team, catching Evil Corporation completely off guard, and after that just rolling with the momentum, taking game number one in a very convincingly manner. With that being said, joining me for game number two here is not going to be Formless anymore. It's actually going to be his teammate and jungler for Complexity Gaming. What you got? How's it going?
It's going good, Znui. How's it going?
Hi, it's going pretty well so far. Exhausting to talk this much. That's safe to say. My throat is not used to it, but other than that, it's going pretty damn well. Especially the first series of the day, yours, of course. I'm sure you don't want to discuss it too much, but your
That's
game
okay.
versus Evil Corporation had some very interesting and extremely close team fights that were super entertaining to watch. So yeah, creds to that at least.
Yeah, definitely. Evil Corporation was playing very well today, thus they 2-0'd us earlier. Um, but yeah, so I didn't exactly watch the match, but I heard there was a Legion Concourse, so that must have been very exciting.
There was a
Um,
A Legion Conger kill level one
yeah.
indeed, and like what made it so exciting was that Aluna was just nearby. She was standing on the hill, you know, just left of the Conger pit, like uphill, while like the Hellborn team or the Legion team was like running past into the Conger pit. Everyone was like, she had vision on that. We were so sure that she actually saw the Hellborn team going in, and we were like, okay, they're just going to wait until Conger drops low, but nothing happened. And then we had a Warbeast on the same time standing next to the Ancients, sending him wolves in through the secondary or through that bottom rune spot, but for
Oh,
some
wow.
reason, like nobody watched or actually got vision into the Conquer pit, so they actually got away with it. Ah,
Yeah, it's
exciting
just one of
times.
those things where just unexpected coming out from the Legion side, so thus didn't think to check.
Huh, look at this, by the way. Oogie once again, I mean, in that third pick as well, as just as they were doing versus you guys earlier today, that Oogie now for Reason Gaming or Evil Corporation, we can call them whatever. It doesn't matter too much at this time. It's going to take some time to get used to their new name. But Imbaboy played a very impressive Oogie in your series, and it seems like they are going to continue that trend here.
Yeah, they early picked the Oogie, and they also early picked up a Lodestone. That'll probably be their way of dealing with the very tanky nature of Moraxis, as he was the first pick for this Hellborn team. And I think now it comes to a point where they're going to look to try to address the Oogie pick and try to deal with that hero. Otherwise, if they don't pick around the Oogie, they'll probably have a similar fate to the game that we had earlier today, where Oogie just got way too out of control.
Yeah. I mean, this is quite interesting. The Pyro Monster pickup. Normally, like Magma's Pyro Monster, nothing odd with that. But seeing as they got that Moraxis as well, kind of indicates that either it's a Moraxis suicide, or it does some kind of like, I don't know, offensive tri-lane. I don't know what to take out of this. Is there something specific that you see, like when it comes to the Hellborn lanes so far?
Well, I think there's maybe two options that they have at the moment, and that would be to either run the Pyro Magnus in a dual lane middle, and then have the Meraxis as an offlaner to deal with, which would most likely be a short lane supporting Moira. Or, as you stated, they could send the Meraxis into a solo lane, like the short lane, and then run a very aggressive makeup, seeing as how they are against that Oogie. So that could be something that they're thinking about. But until we see the next two picks, I think it could be either one of those scenarios.
Yeah, they got a few options at least. I guess it's going to come down to what Recent Gaming here tends to pick up for their next two picks. So far, we got Ravenor, Puppet Master, and Dark Lady banned out for the Legion team, so definitely addressing that hard carry. And then for the Hellborn team, we got the Prisoner and the Kraken, so they are more or less banning out the Initiators here for the Legion team. Jarasaya to finish it off, by the way. What the hell? I mean, it's good versus the Hellborn heroes, but could you really see a Jarasaya here for the Legion seed or for Legion team?
Um, yeah, that's a band that strikes me. It's a little different, but Imba Boy addressing all of the carries that are very good against the Oogie specifically. So he gets rid of all of the really strong Oogie counters, and they pick up a Pebbles, so that will probably be their mid hero.
That is very likely the case. Yeah, Pebbles and Moira has a very interesting combo in between them, of course, with that Mana Drain, the Shards of Harkon, the Stalagmites, and the Shock. You can, well, literally lock down an enemy hero for up to 8 seconds or something like that. It's ridiculous, at least. Blitz, though, from the Hellborn team, that has to indicate that they are going for an offensive tri-lane, right? Is there any other option here?
It could be when you run Blitz, I think the biggest strength to the hero is that he's very good at early aggression. So you tend to want to run him in the long lane because of obviously the high mobility he brings to both himself and teammates. Can be used both offensively and defensively. But Blitz is also one of those heroes that he can definitely be like a short lane boxing support with that pilfering ability because it grants vision. And then it just slows enemies to, it just slows them so that you can just sit on them and do tons of damage. But I think they definitely want to play it aggressively. As we stated, being up against that Oogie, I think they just don't want to let Imbaboy get farm and get out of control, and then try to take the game from there.
All right, we got Blood Hunter to finish it off. Not entirely
Yeah,
sure.
so they pick up the Blood Hunter, and that I think that also signifies that they want to run like a short lane Blood Hunter, and they do an aggressive makeup with the Blitz, and then have Meraxis in the mid.
There's a few options, but just Blood Hunter in general doesn't feel like. I mean, I guess it's the reason for why you wouldn't want to pick it up is to silence the Oogie in the team fights and prevent him from healing himself. Or am I missing something obvious? Why would you want this hero in this specific game?
Well, I think the biggest thing is definitely going to be that Blood Crazy ability, the silence. Just being able to put that on Oogie in team fights, and until Oogie gets a shrunken head picked up, he's going to be silenced in team fights for up to 9 seconds at level 4 of that ability. So when Oogie's silenced, obviously he can't cast spells, and casting spells is how he heals. So taking that away from Oogie is a big part of the hero. And I'm not too sure. They may want to just keep Oogie in place also with that hemorrhage and then just try to kill the rest of his team and leave him for last.
I think it's safe to say at least that there is a timer on this game for the Hellborn side. Like they are not going to be able to stand toe to toe versus this Legion lineup when it comes to the late game, right?
Definitely. In my opinion, I would say Oogie definitely can outcarry a Blood Hunter, and then on top of that, you throw a Lodestone, which is a very strong scaling late game hero because that Shatterstorm does go through Shrunken Head. So even if these Hellborn heroes do get to the point of the game where they pick up Shrunkens, that armor reduction is going to go straight through it, and it's going to allow Oogie to, along with the rest of his team, do tons of damage as the game progresses.
This is so smart, by the way. Actually trying to bait the Rising team to actually rotate over, potentially get that first blood kill, but as we can see here, Word of Sight by Sane is actually going to spot the Hellborn team out. Otherwise, it was pretty clever. I gotta give them
Funny.
that.
I didn't even notice that was going on. I've never seen that before, actually. I would assume that he bought out before doing that, and then.
Yeah. Like you don't
Okay.
lose any gold whatsoever. So I've seen people do that at times in TMM, especially when you have like a gauntlet or a wild cell or something on your team. But in this game particular, especially when they already took Conquer last game, I mean that could have definitely set up for a first blood. As you could see, I mean the Legion team, they were rotating over as well. They totally bought that. So unfortunate for the Hellborn team, there was a Word of Sight already placed by Sane, spotting them out. Otherwise, that was a nice trick.
So we do see Bloodhunter heading toward the top lane, Meraxis in the mid, and an aggressive tri-lane coming out. So we did predict the lanes to be correct. However, Reason is responding with a man-up dual lane. They're going to choose to send the Oogie top with the Moira to guarantee that he does get farm. And then they just send the Lodestone against the tri-lane, which I definitely like this decision coming out from... I'll probably end up just calling them Reason all game because I'm so used to it. But yeah, from Reason.
That is absolutely fine. I have had a lot of trouble calling them Evil Corporation in the first series of the day as well, I can tell you that. Oogie, Mora, long lane, and not too often do we see an offensive Oogie, but that is indeed going to be the case right here. And as I say that, collapsing in the mid lane, do they have anything to catch? Actually, Pyromonster being the one to run in front might be the difference here between a kill and not on a Luna, but the stun is going to connect end to end. There comes the Pyroblast, or the Dragonfire, I mean, followed by the Quake stun, and the first blood goes to our Hellborn team. Rocky Balboa on that Pyromonster is the one that is going to get credit for the kill. So good start for the offensive tri lane.
Yeah, I'm really glad that the two supports from Hellborn left the lane right away, because Lodestone, even with 3 heroes, would have been really hard to take down. And the way that Reason had chose to lane, they were going to win both the middle and the top lane. So adjustments were definitely necessary to be made right away. And I'm glad to see that they made these rotations. And Blitz is now transitioned to the top lane, and then Pyro is going to be more in between both the mid and the bot lane, trying to set up kills wherever the Luna goes.
Yeah,
so I like the rotations.
That, the Magnus farm so far is not very impressive, and this was a Magnus that was originally tri-lane, so I mean, what do you do if you're the Hellborn team? Do you transition the Pyromonster down here once more, or do you simply like give up and run the Suicide Magnus?
I think they definitely want to have Pyro down here, because this is a lane that they can contest. Lodestone is not the best dual laning hero, and then as long as Pyro and Magnus are able to get levels, that's where a lot of their damage output comes from.
Are they going to be able to turn this one around? By the way, Lodestone, I'm not entirely sure. No, too late. Unfortunately, Magnus is going to go down. Pyromonster was invis during that time, and maybe yeah, they're probably even going to get the kill onto Pyromonster, so that backfires big time. They thought they had a kill opportunity with the invisibility rune, but overstaying their welcome and underestimating the damage output between a Lodestone and a Luna is going to cost them 2 kills, or 2 deaths.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying how Lodestone's not the greatest dual lane hero, but I think Magnus had already taken some damage initially, so
yeah,
both from the power throw and the head smash from Lodestone was enough to take down Magnus.
That indeed was the case, and he has a relatively low armor value as well in the early game, so very vulnerable to those physical attacks, of course, coming out. Mid lane, by the way, Pebbles is kind of left on his own here as well, so he's struggling a little bit, 220 gold per minute or so. Morax is doing slightly better. They are kind of even in farm so far, but as we can see, Blitz once again, I'm not entirely sure where he wants to position himself throughout the laning phase. Like, he was up at the top lane a little bit, but dual laning a Blood Hunter, that, well, that seems kind of meh on paper at least. And speaking about Blood Hunter, he's in trouble in the top lane. Silence gonna come out onto Oogie, but Oogie is already out of mana, so that's only boosting his auto attack damage.
Mora has an illusion up, she's gonna spawn.
Damn, he's gonna try to turn around.
She can get that charge onto Oogie. It should be a dead blood on her.
That it is. But the question is, can Oogie make it out of here alive? I don't think so. The Moraxis is coming in for the flank. They're probably going to be able to get at least 1 return kill. Yeah, as you can see it right there, Mora is not even gonna bother to help his teammate. He's just gonna fall back and continue to get the experience on the lane. So 1 for 1 at least. Would you expect the Oogie to transition down to the bot lane now and potentially send Lodestone up to the suicide lane?
It's a tough call because it's still very early and Bloodhunter isn't level 6 yet. So I would say it wouldn't be necessarily the wrong decision for Oogie to come back top. But I think once Bloodhunter is level 6, and if there's any supporting casts up here for Hellborn, I think Oogie will definitely be in a lot of trouble. But Imboboy, he decides that it is a little bit too risky to be up there, so he does transition to the bottom lane. So.
The courier, by the way, Illusion Rune by Pyromonster is going to secure that one shot of the courier, and that's some juicy gold for him.
Yeah, definitely. That's a nice use of the Illusion Rune there.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the courier was doing over there, but something it was doing at least. And it's going to be picked off, unfortunately. A little bit luck there, of course, as well. For Pyromonster happening to be in the neighborhood with the Illusion Rune, but luck is skill to a certain point at least. And as we can see, Blitz and Pyromonster once again rotating, and now we are back to the original tri-lane, and as I say that, I miss a kill in the mid lane.
It looked like a Pebble stun into Power Throw with the Morva Illusion, taking down Moraxis.
Yeah, we saw in the last game, by the way, it was Recent Gaming playing the Meraxus, and he was lower level and lower farm than everyone else on the entire throughout the entire game. Actually, down in the bot lane, Oogie is in trouble. He's going to be stun locked for now. I think he's going to be able to survive through this, though. There's not enough damage to bring him down, and now the Recent Gaming are looking this one around. Pyromonster is going to go down. Magnus is going to be stun locked as well. Mana Drain is going to happen. Meraxus is running in, but it's already too late. I feel like he should just be trying to escape at this point. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing. He doesn't have Arcane Shield either, but the extra, what's that ability called by Blitz? The Quicken ability, I love the name. By Blitz is going to at least allow Meraxus to survive, but that's some good pickups right there for the side of Legion.
Yeah, so what I noticed is that Pyromancer is still level 2, and they tried to burst down an Oogie
that
with
thought, by the way,
850
Meraxus
life.
playing way too greedy, still no Arcane Shield. Actually, the stun is not going to happen quite yet though, but I think it's still going to be enough for the kill. Pyromonster coming in to try to aid his teammate. Is it going to be enough for him to survive? The power throw is going to seal the deal. Question is, are they going to be able to get anything out of this? They're actually going on different targets right now. Pebbles is in trouble. If he stands... No, it's not going to be enough. There's no support nearby. So 1-for-1 trade and a nice port in from Bloodhunter, but still, I mean, he's going to have to rotate back all the way to the top lane. It buys a lot of time.
Yeah, that was a good TP in from Bloodhunter. But back to the bot lane. Oh, as we have Lodestone Initiation on the Bloodhunter. He's going to go down.
Wow, Tankafet is legendary, by the way. This is to support Aluna.
Yeah, Tanka's doing a great job. He's always in the right place when action happens, and he's 5-1 and 2 at 7 minutes in, playing very well. But back to the bottom lane. So they tried to kill an Oogie who had 850 life, and they just didn't have the burst damage because Magnus isn't level 6 yet, and Pyro was only level 2 at the time. And more action bottom.
Blitz is indeed going to fall yet again. I'm not entirely sure if they can keep on the offensive pressure right now. This is not looking very good for Rexor's Reborn here, as Meraxus is, well, he's going to be fine. He still doesn't have the Arcane Shield though, and Pyromonster is in trouble at the side as well. I think that's going to be enough for the kill. Excellent coordination once more between Tankafet and Lodestone are going to secure them yet another kill.
Yeah, Reason is just playing very, very well right now, and they're going to go on to Meraxus here in the mid with Stalagmites. Stun from Aluna, unfortunately, going to miss. Matrax is activated, but it looks like he's just going to run away. What I think the problem is right now for Hellborn is that a lot of their... They have very aggressive heroes, so they want to be taking early engagements, but a lot of their heroes do need the levels. Until Pyromancer gets some more levels, Magnus gets the level 6 for the Eruption, and even Blitz having that Lightning Shackles. A lot of these heroes just don't offer a whole lot of damage right now. And like we already have the level 6 on the Lodestone. Aluna level 5 has a lot of damage with just the Power Throw compared to the Blitz or the Pyro being level 3 and 4. And even Moira has level 6 now. So any fights that Hellborn tries to take, they're just not gonna have the damage that Reason has right now.
Yeah, look at this, the transition once, or the rotations once more. Hellborn team are going to find Mora, but in backup is nearby. I mean, Lodestone Shatterstorm is going to be going off right there. The question is, oh, the Shards of Harkon is going to connect on Magnus. He's going to be bursted down. Pyromonster is going to follow his lead. Arcane Vortex is going to trap down Blitz. Not necessarily necessary. Meraxus trying to run over, but I'm not entirely sure what he's trying to accomplish by doing so. He's just trying to get out as well. Blitz is indeed going to fall. Bloodhunter, by the way, is like taking the top tower, or trying to take the top tower meanwhile, but I mean, this is yet another like disaster for the Hellborn team, to say the least. Like, they have vision as well in the Stygian Forest.
Matrax is activated. Merax is going to try to turn this, but a nice chuck coming out from Bray in the mid lane. Magnus does go in onto Aluna. Going to channel the Eruption here. It's going to go off.
It's going to be enough for the kill, I would assume. Tankafet's trying to escape, it's not going to be enough. Magnus Steam Buff, nice disjoint on that last tower attack right there. Quakestun going off as well. Where's the support? Moira is going to channel the illusion. It's not going to find Magnus quite yet though. Here goes Bloodhunter as well, going to turn the run onto Lodestone. I feel like they should be able to get this kill. Pyro Wave is actually going to miss right there. There's the stun from Aluna though. That was the buyback from Tankafet, by the way. He's in trouble. Nice quick stun onto 2 people. This is exactly what the Hellborn team needed to get back into this game, by the way. Kill after kill happening. Recent game just going in one after another. Oogie trying to do his best to save the teammate. Yet another buyback, by the way, from the recent game. And there comes the low stun as well. It's going to secure the kill onto Meraxis at least. But that was a lot of momentum right there from our Hellborn team.
Yeah, definitely. That's 2 buybacks. And I think they only lost 3 players for... Was it 5 and 2 buyback? 3 dead now plus 2 buybacks? Or maybe it was 4 players.
It was a
but
lot
either
of
way,
hero kills at least.
Either way, Reason coming, excuse me, Hellborn coming out way ahead in that. They're still, unfortunately, a little bit behind, 3,500 golden XP lead, but that definitely is going to help keep them in this game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Bloodhunter skyrocketed almost like 100 gold per minute from that fight alone. He's up to 400 gold per minute now, even overtaking Oogie at this point. Obviously, he's not going to be able to be the same kind of force to be reckoned with when it comes to the late game. Oh, the nice 5-second stun on Meraxis in the mid lane though. Bloodhunter is here going to get the silence off onto Meraxis or onto the Pebbles, preventing him from using the shock at least to keep Meraxis alive for now. I feel like they should be running back rather than running in though. Oogie's already here, and this might backfire enough. The Hellborn team might have overstated their welcome a little bit. Meraxis is going to go down. The Moira Illusion trying to accomplish something as well, got CD on all spells, and it seems like it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Magma's going to port in, but it's already too late. Lodestone running in from the side as well, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to find something. But that 1-for-1 trade in the end.
Yeah, both teams losing their initiators, so in the end, kind of like an even trade.
Shatterstorm activated.
Shatterstorm was activated. I don't know about that. Maybe he thought they were going to stay and that he could go on the Bloodhunter, but not going to be the case. Top tower was pushed in by Pyromancer.
Alright, this might
so
sound... Wait, let me just roll it, or see what you think about this. I just had an idea. I'm not entirely sure if it's possible, but I think that Lodestone tried to use this port, or the Shatterstorm into the port right there to prevent, or to burst down the Pyromonster and defend the top tower, but he failed the port, or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. And then he just decided to cancel his TP?
Yeah, I don't know, for some reason it seemed that way at least. I mean, you could potentially use the Shatterstorm and then port, right? And I mean, the second that
essentially,
you land
I believe TPing to a tier 1 tower is, I think, 4 seconds, and the Shatterstorm does take 5 seconds to go off. It would have been very close, so...
Yeah, it was just a fault. It felt like maybe he mistimed that or something, and he was like, okay, I'm not going to show off the fact that I actually failed my, or that I used my Shatterstorm here, but could have been a, you know, an idea at least.
Yeah, that's true, because if they did spot the port in with the Shatterstorm down, they might look to take a team fight. So that could have been the case.
Veiled Rot, by the way, in here in the force. Oogie is relatively low. He's lacking at least 30% or so of his health pool. Magma's gonna find Mora. It's going to be a kill. Maybe not exactly what they wanted. Orcian Vortex is gonna keep him alive for now. Is he seriously going to live through this? He is for the time being, but the Meraxis is gonna jump in with the quick stun and his newly purchased Polkey. There's a beautiful stun as well from the Lodestone, going to lock down the Magnus. In comes Bloodhunter, but it's already low. He's been comboed by the Pebbles in the background. Oogie in trouble, not entirely sure if they got enough damage.
Bloodhunter needs this kill. Oh, he's not gonna get it.
It's not enough, and now Meraxis is in a lot of trouble as well. This is not going very well for the Hellborn team. Meraxis and Bullets might be able to make it out of there. Doesn't look like it. A well-placed Lagomite is going to keep Meraxis in his place, and Quake, or the whatever that spell is called.
Tarquake, yeah.
Tarquake.
Actually coming out for Bray on the Pebbles here. Moira's not done though. Shards of Harkon coming out onto Blitz.
Oh.
Akadrill gonna connect, and even the power throw after he's
It's a complete genocide in favor of our Legion team at the 14-minute and 10-second mark. That's terrible news for our Hellborn team.
And see, like right there, as like Blitz was getting caught at the end, Reason has more than enough damage to take these heroes down very quickly. Whereas on the Hellborn side, they don't have the damage right now to be, you know, bursting down heroes very fast. They initially went on the Oogie, who I think he was already even low to begin with from farming the jungle, and then they still weren't able to bring it down.
But the thing that was, I'm not entirely sure if Bloodhunter was watching his positioning, but like he wanted to aid his teammates, but he ran straight into a Pebbles and got comboed in the background that I don't even think he realized, because the time when he actually reached Oogie, he was already at like 30% HP or something. So he just ended up feeding Oogie more or less.
Okay, yeah, and then they didn't even have the Shatterstorm at the very beginning of that team fight, so able to, win that team fight so handily without one of their massive ultimates available for the team fight.
Yeah, Magnus, by the way, played by I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that name of
Plitticet.
his. Plitticet, he was playing a very well in the previous game with the Gauntlet, but in this game, unfortunately, he seems to be suffering quite a bit. Oogie, by the way, is in the neighborhood. I'm not entirely sure if they got enough burst damage to actually bring him down. Eruption, of course, could be toggled, but it seems like the Helmet team are going to decide to actually run back. There is the Quake Stun by Praxis. The Eruption is going to be channeled in the background by the Magnus. Here it comes, not necessarily going to reach the backlines though, and the Shadow Storm from Lawson is going to hit 3 targets. Oogie's dealing tons and massive amounts of damage, and the Helmet team is now on the run. This was a complete fiasco on their part. Blitz trying to escape, but I don't think it's going to be successful. And at the Legion, or at the left side, we see Pyro Monster versus Demora in a one-on-one situation. Probably not going to end up too good for the Pyro Monster that either. What went wrong in that teamfight, Beans?
Well, it started with a jump from Pebbles going on to, I think it was either the Magnus or the Meraxis.
It was on
and
the Blood Hunter, actually.
Okay, so Pebbles started off the team fight, so they got the initiation right away, and then after that, Lodestone came in with a big Shadow Storm onto multiple targets, and then Aluna power through and killed like 2 people with just the power throw. So the power throw did tons of damage from the Lodestone ulti, and I didn't really notice the Magnus Eruption if it was very impactful or not in that team fight.
It only reached Oogie more or less, maybe a little bit on Pebbles, but Pebbles was already dead at that point. By the way, initiation at the bottom. Lodestone is here though to support his teammate, and it looks like they are going to look to turn this one around onto Meraxus. They're probably going to end up getting the kill as well. Yes, Blood Hunter is here as well. By the way, Shadowstorm being activated now as well. This is going to be the end of Blood Hunter, I'm sure. Shadowstorm is actually going to be able to dodge that. It's not going to matter in the end, or is it? It's going to be healed up actually by getting the kill onto Oogie. So maybe. Or not.
Oh, he could have maybe ate a creep there. I think he would have still been dead anyway, but...
Look at this, 2-man show, by the way, from Evil Corporation right here. Lodestone and Oogie more or less just single-handedly defeating the entire Hellborn lineup.
Yeah. And something I also wanted to point out, but there's just so much action, was also Pyromancer's ulti wasn't used in that team fight by the river there. And that's like a lot of Pyro's damage, so if he doesn't get that spell off, he essentially didn't do a whole lot in the fight as well. But yeah, it really just goes back to them not having the levels to